You thought being nice would make people respect you. You stayed patient. You stayed polite. You avoided conflict and tried to understand everyone. But slowly, something strange started happening. People interrupted you more. They ignored your opinions. They stopped taking your time seriously. And deep inside, you started asking one painful question. Why do people respect rude people more than kind ones? The answer is uncomfortable, because human psychology does not only respect kindness, it respects boundaries and strength. And when kindness exists without strength, people begin to test it. At first, the tests are small. Someone interrupts you. Someone asks for a favor they know is too much. Someone crosses a line and watches your reaction. If you stay silent and accept it, the brain learns something important. It learns that you are safe to disrespect. This is not always conscious. Most people don't even realize they are doing it, but the human mind constantly scans for hierarchy. It observes who defends their boundaries and who sacrifices them, and the person who sacrifices them becomes predictable. Predictability removes tension, and when tension disappears, respect often follows. This is why the Stoics never confused kindness with weakness. For them, kindness was a virtue, but weakness was a danger. The Roman emperor and philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote that a man must be calm, fair, and patient, but he must also remain firm. Not aggressive, not cruel, but firm. Because people unconsciously respect those who protect their boundaries. Let's look at the first psychological lesson. When you are always available, people stop valuing your presence. If you answer every message instantly, if you accept every request, if you sacrifice your time for everyone, your presence stops feeling rare, and rarity creates value. This is why the busiest and most disciplined people are often respected more, not because they are better, but because their time feels limited. The second psychological lesson is about reactions. Two nice people try to avoid tension at all costs. So when someone disrespects them, they laugh it off, they ignore it, they explain themselves. But the human brain reads this as permission to repeat the behavior. Stoicism teaches something different. Respond calmly, respond briefly, but never pretend disrespect didn't happen. A calm boundary is more powerful than an emotional argument. The third lesson is about emotional control. People test emotional stability. They provoke, they push, they watch your reaction. If you react emotionally, they feel control. If you stay calm and composed, the dynamic changes. This is why silence can be powerful. Not silent weakness, but silent control. Imagine two people in a conversation. One explains everything. The other speaks slowly and rarely. Which one feels more powerful? Usually the second, because mystery creates psychological weight. There is a reason leaders often speak less. Words lose value when they become constant. Now imagine a man who was always nice. He helped everyone at work. He never complained. He covered shifts for others.
At first, people appreciated him, but slowly something changed. People started giving him more work. They stopped asking politely. They started expecting it. One day, he decided to do something simple. He said no, calmly. No anger, no explanation, just a simple boundary. And suddenly, something interesting happened. People started respecting his time again. Not because he became rude, but because he became clear. Clarity changes how people see you. The Stoics understood that life requires balance. Kindness without strength becomes weakness. Strength without kindness becomes cruelty. But when both exist together, you create respect. Being a good person does not mean being endlessly available. It does not mean accepting disrespect, and it does not mean sacrificing your dignity for approval. The goal is not to become cold. The goal is to become stable, calm when others are emotional, kind when others are aggressive, but firm when someone crosses the line. When people realize you are calm but unshakable, they stop testing you. Because tests only continue when they succeed. And once people learn that your boundaries are real, the disrespect disappears. Not because you demanded respect, but because your behavior quietly created it. So remember this: be kind, be patient, be understanding, but never be so nice that people forget your strength. Respect begins the moment you value your own boundaries. And when you master that balance, kindness stops being weakness. It becomes power. If you want more videos about psychology, stoicism, and human behavior, subscribe to Psychology and Power.